Welcome to Trinity Kids Online.
Today we're talking about how you can have courage
Even when you're not quite sure what's gonna happen.
Let's get it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I'm Jared.
And I'm Brady. So, Jared, is all the candy that your kids collected last month gone yet?
Well, it's almost gone. Like, all of the good stuff is gone anyway, you know?
Okay,
Now,
yeah,
all the leftovers just sit there until somebody decides that they've had enough of it laying around the house, you know? And then it gets tossed in the garbage.
Wait, you throw candy in the garbage? I can't believe you, Jared. It's candy. You can't just throw candy in the garbage.
Yeah, but it's gross candy, and you should throw all gross candy in the garbage.
I think candy was made to be eaten. All of it.
Wait, Brady, no, all candy is not meant to be eaten.
Prove it.
Fine, Brady, I will prove it because in challenge time today, you're going to be shown an international flavors of KitKat.
So there's more than one flavor of KitKat?
Brady, you have no idea. There are like lots of flavors of KitKat.
Lots? Really?
Yes, tons. So the flavor's gonna come up on the screen, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And you're going to have to decide, you and
Me
they are
and
going to
them.
have to decide if the KitKat flavor that comes up on the screen is a real chocolate bar that can be purchased somewhere on the globe and then consumed, or if it is fake.
Okay, well guys, are you guys ready to play? Well then, you gotta grab your siblings, adults in your house, and just, whatever, go grab everybody, even a neighbor, because I'm ready to play International KitKat, real or fake, let's go. Japan loves KitKats, and over the years, they have invented several exclusive flavors. Can you guys guess which one's real and which one's fake? Well guys, here we go. Moving on to round numero uno. You guys are gonna gotta choose if they are real or fake. You can do it by thinking it in your head, saying it out loud, or if there's a room that you want to decide is the real side or the fake side, you choose. Have fun with it, guys. That's what challenge time is all about. All right, here we go with round number one. Fried chicken flavored kitty cats. I ain't eating no fried chicken Kit Kats unless it's real fried chicken and not in chocolate. I'm gonna have to say it's fake. Why? Because I wouldn't eat it. The answer is fake. Obvious, guys. Too easy. The only thing that has fried chicken is Kentucky Fried Chicken. True? Not true. You can get fried chicken a lot of places, and you can make it if you want. Anyways, moving on to round number two. That was one. This is two. Here we go. Soy sauce. The salty, sauce that you put on rice, or you dip your sushi in, or, you put it in some meals. All this crazy stuff. Soy sauce flavored Kit Kats. Soy sauce. Let's just read that again. Soy sauce Kit Kats. Yeah, no way. Fake. That has to be fake, guys. If it's real, I'm gonna cry. Just true. That's gonna happen. So I hope it's fake. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's real now! Guys, please don't tell me you had to eat this, man. I don't want to eat that. That sounds so gross. But maybe, salty caramel chocolate's a thing. There's potential the salt and the chocolate thing works out there. Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know yet. It's only round two. Moving on to round number 3. Here we go. Choco banana. Guys. Oh, is it? Do we even need to think about this one? That's a real, if I say so myself. You know what I'm saying? Choco banana. Delicious. Here we go. The answer is real. Let's go. Yes. Send me some of those chocolate banana Kit Kats, baby. Let's go. I want those right now, ASAP, because I am going to eat them all. I love me some chocolate banana. I love chocolate banana ice cream. Basically anything. Weird tangent. Fake banana flavor, kind of good. I know it's a hot take, guys, but I'm a fan. All right, moving on to round number 4. Here we go. Donut flavor. Guys, if we've learned anything about the Japanese Kit Kats, is that they like crazy flavors. And you know what's not crazy? A donut. Wait, maybe, is a donut crazy? Like, what defines a crazy donut? Like, if a donut has a hole, is it crazier than a donut that doesn't have a hole? I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyways, that's not the question. Is it a real Kit Kat flavor or not? I'm gonna have to go with real. The answer is fake. No. Guys, we're probably, you know what? It's gonna be real in 2027 for sure. There's no way it's not real by then. If it's not real by then, I don't know what I'll do with myself, honestly. That'd be insane. Anyways, moving on to round number 5. We got baked potato flavor Kit Kats. Baked potatoes. Does anyone like baked potatoes? Depends how you do the potatoes, you know? If the potato is kind of like, you know, not super soft, then it's kind of not the best. But if it's nice and soft and fluffy, then you're like, it's a good baked potato, you know? You know what I'm saying? So, I also could see, you know, potatoes don't really taste like anything. You always put stuff on it to eat them, you know? You eat your French fries with ketchup or mayo or whatever you eat them with. You eat your, you know, your baked potato with sour cream and green onion and cheese and salt and pepper and whatever else you want to throw on there. You know? So most of the time you're eating potatoes with something else. So with chocolate, doesn't sound too bad. I'm gonna go with big gamble, real. The answer is real! Let's go! Did you guys get that one? Come on. If you copied me, then obviously you get it right because got it right. But if you didn't, that's totally okay. We got one last round coming up with you. Super speed mode. Here we go. Round number 6. We got Ice Creamo Kit Kats. Now, is ice cream a flavor? I think ice cream has flavors. I don't think ice cream is a flavor. You guys see where I'm going with this? Ice cream, don't think it's a flavor. I think it's what you flavorize, you know? So I'm thinking, if there's no such thing as an ice cream flavor, how could there be an ice cream Kit Kat? Ba-bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. No way, fake-o, ice cream Kit Kat doesn't exist. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Answer is, well, boom, fake. That does not exist. Ice cream Kit Kat is not real, but I probably would eat it if they did like an, you know, maybe a vanilla ice cream Kit Kat. Maybe I could see it, but not just straight ice cream. That don't happen. Well, guys, thanks so much for playing International Kit Kats. Is it real or fake edition? Hopefully you guys guessed them right, and hopefully you found a new Kit Kat flavor you would like to try, because there's a lot of ones on here that I would like to try personally. So guys, thanks so much for playing. We'll see you in the rest of the video. Well, guys, I've maybe rethought my decision that not all candy should be eaten. There were some unique flavors in that game today. Wow.
Yes, there were, and I may have changed my decision about throwing all gross candy out because maybe it's worth trying first, you know, like soy sauce KitKat. It could be good.
Well, which is a little bit like our story today. Maybe a flavored Kit Kat sounds like it wouldn't taste very good, but you don't know until you worked up the courage to try it.
That's right. Esther is the character in our story today, and she's not quite sure how things are gonna work out in a situation that she's facing either.
But Esther's example shows us what God can do in situations where we choose to be brave. Trust God and do what's right when it seems like everything is on the line.
So we're gonna go check in at the Story Lab with Skylar and Sebastian because
they'll be talking with someone who has been brave every day, and then they'll unpack some more about Esther's story.
Welcome to Story Lab. This week, we're talking about courage, while we take a look at the story of a girl who stood up for an entire nation. Oh, and we're also going here. Hey, I'm Skylar.
And I'm Sebastian.
We're talking about courage.
That's being brave enough to do what you should do, even when you're afraid.
We all have to be brave sometimes, but some people have to be brave every day for their job.
People like bomb diffusers who have to take apart a bomb so it can't explode.
Or think of those ginormous skyscrapers full of tall glass windows. Someone has to clean all those windows hundreds of feet up.
Or pilots who test super fast new aircrafts to make sure they're safe.
These men and women prepare themselves to do hard things over and over.
God must give them like an extra dose of courage for breakfast every day. Can I get a sausage, egg, biscuit, and a mocha latte with 2 pumps of courage, please?
I don't think it works that way.
We should ask someone.
We're about to. Our guest today has faced some of the scariest situations you can imagine.
Brain surgery, algebra 3, calculus.
How about a burning building?
Wait, we get to talk to a real firefighter?
Absolutely. His name is Trey, and he spent 10 years working as a firefighter.
And I'm gonna zip it so we can get to the real deal.
Hey everyone.
Hi Trey, we're so excited to talk with you.
Yeah, I'm like trying not to fanboy right now.
Same. So, did you always want to be a firefighter?
Actually, no. I had just finished school and a family friend had invited me to come check it out. And so I thought, well, while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, I might as well give it a shot. So this is actually me right here.
So you thought you would just do this for a little while?
Yeah, I thought I'd do it until I figured out what I really wanted to do in life, and then I really loved it. I loved that it gave me purpose, and I learned that I could do hard things.
What was your job like?
Well, basically, you train to respond to a lot of different emergencies. Obviously there were fires, but we responded to medical calls, we responded to cats inside trees, really a lot of different things that we would have to respond to at any given time.
Were you scared the first time you got called to a fire?
Yeah. Anybody who would tell you they're not is probably lying to you, but we don't do anything in the fire department without learning how to control your emotions first.
Wait, so you trained to be brave?
Yeah, you could say that. We did lots of physical training to make sure we stayed strong, but we also did lots of drills. Drills on top of drills on top of drills to make sure that we were ready for anything we might face.
Okay, so you get a call. What happens?
Well, you really only get a little bit of information to start.
So what do you do?
So you jump on the truck and you start on your way, and you're constantly getting more information as you go. And then when you get on scene, you're constantly getting more information and you're seeing what's happening in front of you. You really have to learn how to be flexible because things are constantly changing. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds.
Wait, say that again?
Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds.
That's wild.
So you're there now. What do you do?
Well, you're really just constantly assessing. You're taking in information as it's changing. Remember, you gotta stay flexible. So you're looking for hydrants. You're wondering if this is gonna be protecting just the structure or if this is gonna be a rescue situation where we might have to rush in and go take care of somebody whose life might be in danger. You really do have to stay on your toes constantly.
What are some things that help you get ready for all that?
Well, one tool is learning how to calm yourself down.
Like, you can just do that?
Absolutely. I learned how to keep myself calm by controlling my breathing so that you can keep yourself focused and keep your mind clear.
Even in a burning building?
Especially inside a burning building.
What's the scariest situation you faced on the job?
Wow, that's a great question. I had lots of scary moments, but I think one that comes to mind is my crew and I arrived on the scene to a smaller house that had a lot of heavy fire and smoke showing from the right side of the house. And so in order to put out a fire, you have to get to the seat of the fire, which is where the fire originated. And when we went inside, we went up the stairs. There was one crew ahead of us, and we had a really hard time getting to the seat of the fire because it continued to be hotter and hotter and hotter. It's one of the hottest fires I've ever been in my life. But one of the things you want to avoid in a fire situation is if you take too long, because remember, fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. If you take too long, everything can ignite in the room at one time, and that's called a flashover. And that's not a situation that you or I or anybody would ever want to be in. So I remember in that moment, the longer it was taking us to get to the seat of the fire, and as it's getting hotter and hotter, I started looking around for an exit. It's one of the things that they teach you is always have a way out. And so because how scared I was, I could turn over the corner and see the light coming through the front windows. There's heavy smoke. It's not like it's in the movies. You really can't see anything in front of your face. You just have to look for light. And I knew if I needed to, if we had a flashover situation, I could dive out the window to safety and always have a way to get out.
Wow, Trey, that is incredible.
Thank you, Trey. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Wow, Trey had to dive into some pretty scary situations.
Speaking of scary things, wait until you hear
The story before the story.
Today, we're in book 17 of the Old Testament, Esther. God made a plan to bless the whole world through Abraham's family, the Israelites.
But over and over, God's people would run to God and then pull away, back and forth, just like a yo-yo. At last, God allowed the Israelites to be captured by foreign nations so they would understand they can only be happy close to God.
Even in captivity, though, some of these men and women still loved and honored God, like a girl named Esther and her cousin Mordecai, which is where our epic story begins.
Take it away!
Years before, the Jewish people had been captured and taken from Jerusalem to Babylon. But then, Babylon was conquered and became part of the Persian Empire, with Susa as its capital. So, Esther grew up in a land that was not her own, and when her parents died, her cousin Mordecai raised her as his own daughter.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your strength.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart.
One day, a new king named Xerxes came to power in Persia. And this guy was a character. He threw a crazy wild party and then fired his own queen for refusing to show up. Not the kind of guy you want running your country. Anyhow, when he finally calmed down, he realized he didn't have a queen anymore, so he decided to look for a new one. After a long search through the entire kingdom, Xerxes chose Esther.
Cousin Mordecai, what do I do?
Don't tell anyone you're from a Jewish family.
We've already seen that Xerxes didn't bother to think much before making decisions, so he chose on a whim to promote an official named Haman to take charge of all the other nobles in the kingdom. Haman had a ginormous ego, and he loved making all the other officials outside the palace bow low to him. But Mordecai refused to bow down to Haman, and this made Haman so mad he about went through the roof! Haman was such a terrible guy that he decided not only to punish Mordecai, but every single Jew in the country. He went to King Xerxes with a terrible plan.
Your Majesty, these Jews live differently than everyone else. They don't obey your laws.
Who do they think they are?
I know, right? Give the order to destroy them.
Consider it done.
I can't even. Xerxes actually sent a letter all over the kingdom declaring that on the 13th day of the 12th month, all Jews were to be killed. When Mordecai and the other Jews discovered this horrible news, they dressed in rough cloth and wept bitterly. Mordecai sent a message to Esther in the palace, telling her what Haman had done.
You must ask the king to save our people.
Esther was devastated. She sent a response to her cousin.
Tell him, no one can come before the king unless he sends for them. If I do it, I'll die, unless he reaches out his gold scepter to me.
Mordecai sent his answer right back.
You may not escape, even though you are queen. Who knows? It's possible you became queen for a time just like this.
Esther knew Mordecai was right. She sent him one more message.
Tell Mordecai, gather all the Jews. Don't eat anything for 3 days. I and my servants will fast too. Then I'll go to the king.
Esther faced a terrible dilemma, but she took 3 days to prepare her heart and her mind. Then she went to face the king. It must have taken every ounce of courage Esther had to step through those doors. And then she had to wait what felt like an eternity for the king to even notice her. At last, he looked up. Then he smiled and reached out his golden scepter.
What is it, Queen Esther? I'll give you anything up to half my kingdom.
Esther must have been shaking with relief. But instead of making her request right away, she asked the king to attend a special banquet along with Haman. The king was flattered and curious. At the banquet, he told her once more,
I'll give you anything up to half my kingdom.
I'd like you and Haman to come to another feast tomorrow. Then I'll answer your question.
What? The king was so intrigued, he agreed to come back again. The next night, he and Haman joined Esther at a second festive meal.
What do you want me to do for you? I'll give you up to half my kingdom.
Esther took a deep breath and put it all on the line.
Your Majesty, let me live. Please spare my people. We have been sold to be destroyed.
Who is the man who has dared to do such a thing?
Haman is the one.
Xerxes was so enraged that he had Haman killed. Then the king created a new order that would allow the Jews to be saved.
We will celebrate this day with great joy.
The end.
Wow, King Xerxes was kind of a loose cannon.
Exactly. There was no way to predict what he would do, but Esther leaned into God. And she took a big, courageous step, even though she had no idea what would happen.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, there might be a mean kid at school, someone who's always shoving smaller kids around or making fun of people.
Yeah, and everyone's afraid to stand up to them.
You can ask God for courage to be the one to face the bully and tell them, stop it. That's not okay.
It's also important to let a teacher know what's going on. That takes courage too.
Exactly.
Or maybe you're selling cookies for a fundraiser and you need to ask a neighbor you don't know to buy some. It might feel pretty scary to knock on their door, but you can ask God for courage for that too.
It's true. God never asks us to face tough situations on our own. That's one of the reasons God gave us Jesus. When we believe that Jesus is God's Son and choose to follow him, we have the power of God's Holy Spirit living in us. We can be ready for anything that happens.
And that is super awesome to remember.
So true. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, Erica. So, here's the thing. You can do what you should, even when you don't know what will happen.
You think I could be a firefighter like Trey?
Absolutely.
Now, where do we keep the hoses?
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab. See you next time.
Turn on the water!
Wait, what?
You know, Esther's story is always so inspiring.
I love what they said. Esther leaned into God and she took a big, courageous step, even though she had no idea what would happen.
You likely face situations every day where you're not sure either what might happen, and some of those situations, they're pretty tough.
Yeah, you see things happen every day at school, maybe on a team you play on, or outside playing with your friends or the neighbors.
Or maybe it's something you have to do that seems scary or uncomfortable, like they said in the video, like knock on a door when you're selling cookies.
No way I'm doing that. I just get my parents to post it on Facebook.
Okay, either way, when you see something happening or you're facing that scary situation, remember Esther's story.
Two things stand out about Esther's story. First, she wasn't alone. Esther was brave because she knew God was with her. Just like God was with her, God is with you too.
And second, I love that Esther had someone in her life that challenged her to keep going even when it was hard. Esther had Mordecai. So who's someone in your life that can help you face a hard situation where anything could literally happen?
Yeah, maybe mom, dad, an uncle or aunt, a grandparent, a teacher, a small group leader even.
So when you feel that nudge in your heart that you should do something about what you're seeing,
or facing that uncomfortable, scary knock on the door to sell those cookies, choose like Esther to be brave, trust God, and do the right thing, even when you're not sure what will happen.
I think our prayer for this month will be so helpful as you think about where you need courage in your life today.
Feel free to stand with us and follow along by repeating with us, or just listen.
So let's put a hand on our heart. Father God, fill us with your love and help us to love you in everything you've made.
Let's point to our eyes. Lord Jesus, help us to see you and to see the others the way you see them too.
And let's point to our ears. Holy Spirit, help us to hear you and give us courage to do what you say.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Stay tuned for the So-and-So Show, and we will see you next week.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on, please. Please come down. Just please come down. My kitty is stuck in a tree. What can I even do? Oh, come on, kitty. I need a hero. I need a hero. Is there a hero out there? I could really use a hero right now. Please, please, someone bring me a hero. John, I need a hero.
Sure.
Thanks. Hey everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm John.
And welcome to the So-and-So Show.
Steven, if you were a superhero, what do you think your superpower would be?
Oh, that's easy.
Oh yeah? Easy? Easy? This is not an easy question. Oh, Steven. Okay, what would it be?
Mind reading.
What? No way.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Why do you think it'd be mind reading?
Well, I'm smart and intuitive. I'm observant of people and like to understand where they're coming from and how they think. Plus, it would definitely be the most powerful superpower.
Mind reading is definitely
not the most powerful superpower? I knew you'd think that.
How did you do that?
Maybe my powers are kicking in.
Well, it is definitely not the most powerful superpower.
Okay then, what is? Super strength?
Did you do that again?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, this just isn't fair. We have to figure out what my power would be.
What do you mean?
Well, it's very obvious what your power would be, or might already be, but we have to find out mine. I have no clue what my superpower would be.
Okay, there are a lot of options. Super strength.
Super speed.
Invisibility.
Flying.
Talking to animals.
Knitting at supersonic speed? What? That would come in very handy.
When?
So cold.
See? Yeah, well, the only way we can see what power you would have is to test them out.
Oh, good idea. I like the way you think.
I know.
Well,
let's get to it.
No. Kids, don't try this at home.
Ready?
Ready.
On your mark, get set, go! You didn't even... Well, it's not super speed.
Ready. No.
Nope.
Wave your fin if you can hear me. Wave your fin. Swim to the top. Swim.
I've never seen a goldfish do less. Nope.
Okay, am I invisible now?
Nope.
How about now?
Nope.
I was just checking.
Let me just...
No!
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
No! Kellen!
Hey, fellas.
We've been having a super powerful day so far. You think you got a story to match?
Oh, do I think? This story is so super powerful. I mean, wow.
I'm listening.
Great, because it's going to be a big one. In fact, today we're looking at an entire book of the Bible, specifically the book of
Esther.
That's right. And it looks like I got a little help for today's story.
A little help to go behind the Bible. Esther was an orphan Jewish girl who was raised by her cousin Mordecai in the kingdom of Persia.
You see, the Jewish people had been taken captive by the Babylonians, but later the Babylonians were defeated by the Persians. So that's who was in charge in Esther's day.
And the king of Persia was King Xerxes.
Yeah, I love being king. You know, it's just the best. I can do whatever I want, like throw amazing parties, which I have.
Over here. Yeah, just to be clear, that's not the real King Xerxes. All those people lived a long time ago, way before cameras were invented.
Kellen?
Yes?
You're interrupting the Bible story. Can we continue?
Oh, sure, of course.
Thanks.
One party in particular was pretty significant. Life-changing, actually. My queen at the time, Vashti. She wouldn't come to my party when I commanded her, so I was like, you can't disrespect me. I'm the king. Took away her crown. After that, I needed to find a new queen.
The king sent out a search for the most beautiful women in the kingdom, and Esther was picked as one of them. They went through a whole year of beauty treatments at the palace, and at the end of the year, the king chose Esther to be his queen.
It was pretty wild. I mean, the queen of Persia? Upgrade. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I knew God was with me, but I didn't tell anybody there that I was Jewish.
After some time, the king appointed a man named Haman to be in charge of all the nobles in his kingdom.
That's right. And Haman was very proud of himself. Maybe a little too proud. He wanted everyone to fall on their knees when he walked by. But Esther's cousin Mordecai refused to bow.
Haman was obsessed with himself. But I wouldn't bow because I know who my God is, the one true God. And I wasn't going to worship anyone else. But Haman really didn't like that. And when he found out I was Jewish, well, he decided he would take out his anger on all the Jews.
Haman came up to me, and he was upset. He said, King, there's a whole group of people who don't obey you. They live differently than everyone else. And I was like, what? I cannot have that. So I gave him my ring and my royal seal on it, and I told him to do whatever he wanted with those people.
Haman ordered for every Jew in every territory of the kingdom to be killed. Talk about an evil dude. It was not good. Letters were sent all over the kingdom that on the 13th day of the 12th month, they were to kill every single Jewish person.
It was the most devastating time I ever faced. All the other Jews and I tore our clothes and wore rough cloths. We cried for days. I knew I had to talk to Esther.
Mordecai wanted me to do something about it, but I felt like there was nothing I could do. No one was allowed to come before the king unless he sent for them. If I went to the king without being sent for, and if he didn't hold out his golden scepter to me, then I would be killed.
I knew it wasn't easy, but I told Esther, don't think just because you live in the king's palace that you will be the only Jew who escapes. If you don't say anything, then help for the Jews will come from another place. But who knows? It's possible that you became queen for a time just like this.
Esther told Mordecai to gather all the Jews in the area and to go 3 days without eating. She and her attendants fasted for 3 days as well.
I told Mordecai I would go to the king at the end of the 3 days. Even though it was against the law, I realized it was what I had to do. Mordecai was right. What if I had become queen for this moment? I would risk my life to save my people. And if I died, then I died. That's how I saw it.
Esther came into my throne room. It was a bit of a surprise since I hadn't called for her, but I was pleased to see her. So
I don't even have the words to describe the relief I felt. I just remember thinking, I'm not getting killed. Okay, I am not getting killed. And then I remembered that I actually needed to start moving my feet and walk to him so I could do what I came there to do.
when I saw her come in, I offered Esther anything she wanted, up to half my kingdom. Whoo! She just invited me and Haman, my right-hand man, to come to a feast that she would prepare. So I was pretty intrigued. And you know I like a good feast.
The following evening, the king and Haman went to the feast Esther prepared. While they were at the feast, the king asked Esther again what she desired.
That was my chance. I asked him to spare my people. I told him that my people and I had been sold to be killed and wiped out.
I was livid when I heard that. I said to her, who is a man who has dared to do such a thing? And where is he? I was not expecting what she said next.
Esther told the king that Haman was the man who had given the order. The king was very angry. He had Haman taken away right then and put to death. King Xerxes put out a new order to save the Jews so that they would not be killed.
I was really proud of Esther. She was brave and selfless. She risked her life to save our people. She remembered the ways of God that I taught her. To be loving and courageous, that was beautiful. We were also excited and relieved.
Yes, it was amazing. We sent news out to all the Jews and everyone celebrated. Everyone was just so filled with joy.
Esther risked her life to save her people. She stood up for what was right and trusted God, even though she didn't know how it was going to turn out.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
But I can say this better. This has been Behind the Bible.
Whoa, Esther was so brave.
Yeah. God was with her, and God is with us too. So we can be brave just like Esther, even if it's not in life-threatening situations.
I feel more courageous than ever. Thanks, Kellen.
You bet. See ya.
Well, it looks like we're getting close to the end. Can you guess what I'm thinking now?
You're thinking ham sandwich.
How did you?
Reveal the question!
Oh, when have you done something you were afraid to do?
Maybe you stood up for someone like Esther did, not knowing what other people would think of you.
Yeah, or maybe you tried a new sport or shared a piece of art you made and it felt scary because you didn't know how people would like it.
Right, and there are times every day that we're faced with something that we might be afraid of.
Yeah, but it's important to remember that we can still choose to be brave, trust God, and do what's right. Hey, maybe that's my superpower. Yes, yeah, choosing what's right no matter what the situation.
Yeah, if people did that, anyone could be a superhero.
Yes, I'm Justice John.
And I'm Cerebral Steven. No, wait. Steven the Smarty Pants Steven. Smarty Pants Stevie Pants. No, Smart Pant. Maybe it's just one pant.
This has been the So-and-So Show.
What if it's just one pant? Thinking
what if it's my pants?
John's pants, Steven's pants. No.
Smarty John Stevens pants.
Yes! Ha!